Hey everyone, this is Lee here, and with me is a guy named Charles Traynor. How you doing?
Doing really well, and great to be back on the Lee Gerson show. And
Yeah.
this was your pick. So what are we doing on this episode?
Um, we're doing an album by Dan Fogelberg called Netherlands. Now, have you ever heard anything by him?
I heard the name, but it didn't ring a bell when I heard the music. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Um, that's sometimes also the case after people hear it. But um, he's a guy who I had quite a few of his albums. I found them for like quarter, 5 cents, sometimes free. So when you find them, you might as well stock up, right?
Yeah,
So that he was someone who um if you saw all the albums of his that I have and you'd say how much did you pay for it, I would say about $2 for the whole lot at the most, and then you'd probably give a thumbs up.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, he's someone who I picked this because I figured most people wouldn't pick a Dan Fogelberg album except for maybe a couple, and they probably wouldn't pick this. Not because it's a bad album, but just because it's just not something that they would think people would know. Um, he did do a very, very famous album, and by fame means that you could see it almost like geese flocking out of the record store. So many copies. An album with Tim Weisberg called Twin Sons of Different Mothers. An album that I think nowadays people wouldn't touch because they'd figure it's crap, which it certainly is not. And in fact, it's a great album, much better than Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. But anyway, um, and just as well known, but not, people don't hear it now. They might listen to the single from it, but ordinarily they don't hear much of that album. But at least they might hear a little more of that one than this one, which also you could find many, 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 many copies of. And I think that this was one of my free ones, you know, and yeah. Um, and so I decided, hey, at the last moment, after the last album that we picked, I had another one in that same category, and I did not want to do two in that category. So I figured this would at least be a different flavor. I don't know whether it would be a better flavor to you, but different.
yeah.
And so I picked it with good intentions. Okay.
All
All right. Do you have anything you want to say before we begin?
No, not
Oh,
really. Let's get
okay.
into it.
Okay. All right. How about you can start if you want. Um,
Okay.
all right. The song Netherlands. What do you think of that one?
Some pretty great vocals here. The music on this song is very dramatic, and nothing wrong with that. It sounds like a film song or an attempt at one. Tons of orchestration, and I could see some panties getting wet listening to this one. So good call there, Lee. Not necessarily my go-to type of music, but for what it is, a big sweeping pop song, and it works in that capacity. Interesting opener, a tad bit too dramatic for my taste, but I do see the appeal.
Okay. I put, this is a song that sometimes I like and sometimes seems overblown. Right now, I'm both ways about it. It's something he does sometimes, but not a lot of the time. As an opening track, it's somewhat misleading if people think the rest of the album is like it, but fans of his music would know that wouldn't be the case. I guess it's best to have it first to get it out of the way, but it's not one of the best tracks on here. Okay, now for Once Upon a Time. Alright, the arrangement to this song is pretty good. Melodically, it's a little more of his melodramatic edge, which doesn't appeal as much to me as his more gutsy material, but it's not a truly bad piece. But there are better songs later on in the album. What do you think?
A little less dramatic, a bit more straightforward. Get Don Henley on some backing vocals. I would put this on, let's say, the Dear Prudence style of rock. Not total out and out cock out rock, but has a bit more balls than Netherlands, but only so much that I could see a bit of pre-cum in them panties. Sorry, ladies, I'm just judging it off of your feels. I could see trying this out on the guitar, and it's well sung, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Bit, Once Upon a Time.
right on. What do you think of Dancing Shoes?
Oh, ladies, we're back. I was thinking this would be like Casey and the Sunshine Band type of song, but no, it's a melodramatic type of song that will make your innards feel funny. Don't feel bad. It doesn't make me get the feels, but I enjoy it quite a bit. Well sung, pretty intricate sounding at parts for sure. Get some waltz time here, so big ups for me for that. Dancing Shoe works for me. Put them on, ladies. Put them dancing shoes on.
All right, this is one of his mellow songs that I like. Maybe the arrangement is a bit dramatic, but the music fits it, and I'm okay with it. It's one of the better songs on the album. All right,
Yeah.
now for lessons learned. I like this song too. I could understand some people not liking the somewhat dramatic arrangement, and even I would be interested in a more stripped down version of the song to see how that was like. But I can deal with this, and I dig it, and it's another fine song on the album. What do you think?
Well, seeing a bit of Chicago and Eagles influence, especially with choice of studio here. Seems like a bit of an Eagles throwaway on this song. It's obvious the guy could sing, no doubt, and it keeps it from being complete trash. But yeah, overall, it just comes across as Eagles 0 for me here. Way too 70s type of sounds that I couldn't get with, like Peter Criss solo albums.
Okay.
Which is a no-go for me. Gonna pass on lessons learned.
Oh, okay. What about Loose Ends? What do you think of that?
Another waltz here, but in slower time. So kudos. Not as formulaic as lessons learned. Has a slight Eagle feel as well, but not near as much as previous. And it feels better because of it. Great solo breakdown. Loose Ends is a return to style that I can get with. So kudos to that. I enjoyed Loose Ends.
Right on. I put unique song in his catalog, being one great example of mellow and heavy, and very impressive. It has a lot of impact and beauty, and I like it. I'm not always a fan of his more dramatic material, but this album has some of his best stuff in that way. Okay, now for Love Gone By. I like the arrangement and instrumentation very much, and I don't dislike the actual song, but sometimes I like the song better than at other times. And this time I do still like it, but not as much as some of the other songs on side one. With that being said, I still don't skip this track and it does the job, but it's not one I'll call my very favorite. What do you think?
Oh, Lord, man. Some more Eagles love here. Well, not as crappy as Lessons Learned, so it has that going for it. Has a bit of energy, this one, so that's good. I could see some dorky people digging this. And yeah, it's not my scene. Like Jackson Brown metal here, or some shit. Not a fan of this one at all for some reason. It just didn't grab me. Fuck this song.
All right. What do you think of Promises Made?
Back on a more chill out vibe, which I'm thinking is the pocket this dude should have stayed in. Definitely he has a good voice. I can't knock that at all on the whole record thus far. But yeah, this one has that dental office feel to it. It just makes me want to pull the imaginary head out of my hair that I've not had for a decade. Just so plastic and no soul to it whatsoever. So if you're for that variety of music, you'll enjoy this one. But for me, I'll pass.
All right. I put this is one of the I could live without it songs. Not truly bad, and I can still listen to it, but if I said Love Gone By wasn't one of my favorites, I do like it better than this track. Not truly bad, but not one I particularly like. All right, now for Give Me Some Time. All right. Perhaps the best song on the album. I love the jazz arrangement and the song itself. It's a really great song, and I would like to be able to write a song like it. What do you think?
Oh, hell, flute. Yeah, no thanks. Why in the hell was that instrument good? I couldn't even get past 30 seconds of this, so it's crap. No thanks. No thanks, and give me some time. Least favorite, my least favorite.
Oh, boy. All right. What do you think of Scarecrow's Dream?
This is better than Don Quixote and Walt Disney and Wizard of Oz. Okay, that's easy. But at least there's no fucking flute. Another rather than this song. But I didn't think he had a good voice. And the guitars on it are pretty good. So I could at least listen to this one without bombing it. Way too much for me. As the fans of this genre, this music is them.
Okay. I put perhaps the song I like the least on here. The keyboard sounds are cool, but the song itself, I don't care much for it. It's one of the I could skip it songs. And now for Sketches. This is great. It's one of the best songs on the album. I love the orchestration, the song itself, the way he sings it, all that. It's a great song. What do you think?
At this point, I'm like, yeah, it's the main track. Okay, Sid has a pleasant voice, but wow, this is so annoying. It's because it's just a statement. It has no soul factor at all. It almost sounds like a song to like a weird play that no one would watch. It's really style of itself, so this is not my style. But for over dramatic music fans, you would dig it.
Okay, what do you think of the last song, False Faces?
Lordy mama, thanks for listening here. And we get something that sounds like Christian Cross metal or something. I'm in hell, literally. Please no more Dan Fogelberg. Ever. I didn't really like shit for liking an air supply song or two. Man, this was a fairly painful listen, and this song is just,
All right.
You guys do air supply because of this.
I don't really care for this one. It's not as bad as a couple of the other songs I don't care for, but overall, this one didn't do it for me. So yeah,
Well, yay!
I guess we are kind of in agreement with it.
Kind of. I think you liked it slightly more, but that's okay.
But that's why I said we were kind of in agreement and kind of not.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But
Ooh.
I would say
Fogelberg.
I would say though I was less annoyed at you not liking some of the songs here than I was annoyed with another album that you liked better. So at least this was a better experience for me.
Well, there you go. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, maybe not listening wise to you, but for me, review wise, yes. Okay. And without giving it away, we have one more review, one that
Oh Lord.
I don't have. I'm gonna have to well, I have a great big huge bottle of whiskey that I haven't opened yet. I depending upon how I feel, I may be opening it up. But I still have enough of the vodka left to try and get through it. We are okay now. And anyway, thank you, Charles, again for doing this album.
No problem, buddy.
Okay, all right. Take care, everyone. Bye.